Good morning, Honorable Prime Ministers and other heads of state and government, Honorable Ministers of Government, CARICOM Secretary General, distinguished delegates, members of the media. Welcome to this, the 9th meeting of the Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on the CARICOM Single Market and Economy. We will now have remarks from the CARICOM Secretary General, Ambassador Erwin LaRocque.
Thank you, Salas. Right Honorable Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados and Chair of the Prime Minister's Subcommittee on the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica and Chair of the Conference of Heads of Government, other heads of state and government of the community, honorable ministers, delegates, members of the media. I bid you welcome to this 9th meeting of the Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, the CSME, and the first presided over by our host and lead head, Prime Minister Mia Mottley. This subcommittee is an important body which provides political oversight and strategic direction to advance the CSME. Last July, the Conference of Heads of Government in Montego Bay agreed that there should be more frequent meetings of the subcommittee in recognition of the need for more intense focus on the CSME. These more regular sessions will keep the developments and progress under review and seek to address the challenges on an ongoing basis. It is also a clear signal from the community's leadership of the commitment to make the CSME more effective. When our stakeholders, private sector and other non-state actors met in Georgetown last June, they confirmed that the CSME remained the best viable option and platform to achieve the goal of sustainable development for our community. They urged that there be more engagement with them as beneficiaries of the measures in order to gauge the progress and iron out the difficulties in exercising their rights and accepting their obligations under the various regimes. We must therefore put in place a system of consultations at both the national and regional levels to involve the private sector, labor, the youth, and other stakeholders more intimately in the process. This would make for more effective decision-making and implementation while creating the feeling that we are all in this together. An important aspect of moving the process forward is the need for member states to make every effort to implement the agreed commitments and obligations. The approved implementation plan sets out time frames for so doing in the short, medium, and long terms. The efforts to fulfill these requirements will be a significant and positive signal that we mean business. The Council for Finance and Planning, COFAP, meeting here yesterday agreed to a time frame to implement a number of elements of the single economy that would enhance the effective use and operation of the single market. The sessions today and yesterday are setting the stage for the special meeting of heads of government later this year devoted solely to the CSME. The momentum coming out of the Montego Bay meeting of the conference is being maintained, and we must seize the moment and ensure that our efforts bear fruit. The citizens of our community are looking and deserve no less. I thank you very much.
We will now have remarks from the host Prime Minister and Chair of the Prime Ministerial Subcommittee on the CSME, the Right Honourable Mia Mottley.
Thank you very much. Good morning, colleague heads of delegation. First of all, let me welcome you to Barbados, as it is my honor to have you here at this Prime Ministerial Subcommittee, the 9th, I'm told, with respect to the single market and single economy. For us, it is a distinct pleasure to have, I think we have 6 heads of government in a subcommittee. And that, in and of itself, speaks volumes as to the commitment of the colleague heads to this process called the Single Market and Single Economy Project of CARICOM. We have, since Montego Bay, been able to reignite in our people a confidence and make this Caribbean project worth our while, and that we can allow it to make a definable difference in their lives. The signing of the Protocol on Contingent Rights was the first. No one in the Caribbean will move easily without understanding what will be the implications for their spouses, their dependent parents, or their children. And it is in this real way that we have made a definable difference to our people. Similarly, those among us in our region who are committed towards expanding their enterprises now have the opportunity to see that they can bid for government contracts over a certain threshold with respect to the protocol on government procurement that we are hoping to be able to put in place by the next heads of government for signature. The fact that COFA has met twice in the last 4 months, having not met for 5 years, is also a signal of our intention to be serious about the region's business. We have before us a number of other projects that require our urgent attention. Some have been identified, some are in process, and some are to be put back fully on the agenda. I refer specifically to the need for us to make life easier for those of our citizens, and by citizens I don't only mean individuals, but companies who want to move between our countries and who want to do so without having to re-register and pay significant sums of money in each territory in order to do business. It is a matter that we believe can easily be remedied, and it is one that will make that definable difference in a direct way to those of our citizens doing business in each of our territories. We remain committed, even as we do all of this, and even as we meet in special session of heads in Port of Spain later this year, we remain committed to being able to identify how best we can reach the single market in single domestic space in transport and the single domestic space in communications. Yesterday evening, after we finished, Prime Minister Gonzalez shared with us how easy it is for him to have done so among a number of different countries not connected by land, a number of different islands, not connected by land, all separated by sea, but all treating to a single project of unity and ability for citizens to move at an affordable rate in a reliable way between the different islands in the Grenadines and the mainland in St. Vincent. If it can be done there, and if it can be done in Grenada and CARICOM, then it is absolutely essential that we recognize that it is our duty to make it possible between these islands and these countries within CARICOM. I look forward to us also in this meeting being able to address in caucus some key strategic issues pertaining to security of our energy supplies, issues pertaining to resilience of our telecommunications, issues pertaining to how best we may assist one another in treating to this difficult hurricane period, recognizing that only just 1 year ago, too many of our countries, not just within CARICOM, but within the Caribbean, were exposed to the cruelest elements of nature. And within a matter of hours, their reality became completely different from that which they thought they had before the passage of two of the worst hurricanes in this region's history. So, friends and colleagues, our business is set today. Today is but one step towards the larger meeting in December, where we will not only address these matters that are taking us along this course, but we will also, by December, start to address some of the larger issues with respect to structure and equity with respect to the single market project. Those are not reserved for today, but for that larger meeting where I suspect that the majority of it ought to be in deep caucus to ensure that we can give Caribbean citizens the assurance that those who have the responsibility to lead at this juncture are prepared to make that definable difference in their lives, not just nationally, but regionally. Thank you for being here, and let us achieve today those things which we have set out to achieve, knowing full well that without prejudice to discussions that we will hold later this year, these are the essential signposts and progress changes in our region. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister and Secretary General Larocque. Ladies and gentlemen, there is much to be done here today. We'll give the media a few minutes to take some more pictures and footage and then depart. Then we'll start the meeting. Thanks.